and gentlemen, you are listening to Deathmatch Russell Podcast. Let's get it on!
Come into the ring, step into the fire, see what you want, baby. If your heart has desire, get up, get knocked down, get up, get knocked down, get up, get knocked down, down, down. Deathmatch Russell Podcast. 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 Deathmatch Russell Podcast.
Good evening, everyone, and you're listening to another episode of the Deathmatch Russell Podcast. Well, let's get right into it. My guest at this time, pro wrestler, the one and only Sleezy-E. How are you, man?
Man, great to be here. It's the SLEEZ to the Y to the E. Sleezy-E in the house with my man. We're getting down. I've been looking forward to this, pal, and I'm just glad to be here. Thank you, brother.
No problem, man. It's part of the game is just to get your name out there, and just
every single thing. Yep.
You want to hear your stories, you want to hear your backstory, you want to hear about this, you want to hear about comic books, you want to hear about Batman, you want to hear about Robin. I don't know, the list goes on.
Exactly.
The list goes on and on. So anyway, what got you into wrestling as a kid growing up?
Man, well, that's the old classic question right there. It was the only thing I liked, man. It was the only thing I had. So I didn't play sports. I wasn't musically inclined as a kid. I picked up a guitar once I became a older teen or whatever. But so the only thing I liked was professional wrestling. And so I'm from Arkansas. I know you're
I'm a Jersey Shore Jersey boy,
Yeah, man. See, two totally different worlds, man. But the great thing is wrestling can bring some guys like us together, and we should all be getting along in the first place. But anyway, so to continue the long story short, to the infamous question, how did it all start? So it's all I had, really. And so growing up, I, obviously the same old, 4 or 5 years old, guy, stumbled upon it somehow. So that's just because
static on the TV. Yes.
Yeah. Some of us with a little PTSD or childhood trauma can't hold on to all those memories, so you can get that old answer, but it was really the only thing I liked, so I just started watching wrestling, and then, WWF, WCW, growing up and all that good stuff. And, in Arkansas, we didn't have a lot of VCW. I remember seeing it on TNN one time, and I was like a young kid, and like I knew about it, but that was the only time I actually found it, So,
yeah, right.
So I got in, that was like I always liked the hardcore stuff, but then once you get a hold of VCW, it kind of just turns you out in a way, and then
it goes and goes, and then it makes you want to watch more and more, and like study and go, and then follow, the hardcore, legacies, and the documentaries to where it originated, and to go to Japan, watch the Japanese style wrestling, to the Japanese death matches, they call it. And
well, that's when you cross the line. You see
XPW
growing up, and then you see death match, and
but also then you had XPW, and
Yeah, so all that in between. So
keep your eyes soon, because I saw that on Dark Side of the Ring, and they're going to have XPW and FMW is going to be part of that.
Oh man, that's going to be. I saw that. That's gonna be sick right there. Who would have ever thought a big TV documentary would be done about XPW or FMW? That's just as cool as it gets. It's just really cool time in wrestling.
And you know, XPW, you know, like you think about it, hey man, you know what, I used to go to the video store all the time, or the, you know, and I you know, or the music store, and you see these DVDs called XPW. Let me pick one of these up and see what this is about. You know, it was like a $5 DVD, you know, or $10. It was like a bargain bin. You know, they always had like the bargain, so you get hooked. And
yeah, I see. I obviously found XPW later on, but I remember one of the first things I found was 3PW. I think it's like Power Pro Pain. It was in the ECW arena, and that was the only thing I got my hands on as a kid. So,
that was Blue Meanies Federation, I believe. Blue Meanie was a part of.
I didn't know that, but yeah. So they had some. I found a couple of their DVDs, and so from there, I think about the age of 9 or 10, I went to my first independent show. So I realized, there's more than wrestling on the TV, you know, like there's more to it than this. You know, shortly before that, you know, as a kid, you learn it's a work. And for me, that was like the coolest day in the world, because I said, oh man, now I got to figure everything out about it. Now I'm going to dive into it. Then I found that there's independent wrestling. And so I was really into Jackass growing up. So for me, I started doing stunts. I got my first camera whenever I was 11 or 12, and I was still going to local wrestling shows every weekend.
Yes.
But obviously, as a kid, nobody's going to train you. Well, hopefully not. You know, maybe whenever people are 14, 15, 16, they can get in. Yeah, and I know that they have that story. Look, that didn't happen for me, but so I started filming at the wrestling show, get into Jackass, CKY, all that good stuff. And then I just at that point, all that wrestling energy, I channeled it into stunts. And so they call it homegrown stunts. Around that time. So the groups were homegrown stunt groups. My group was White Picket Fence Productions. We nice shot for nice years. So it's like White Picket Fence. You think of something perfect, but we're a bunch of teenagers stapling our nuts next to each other, you know. But so, and in that sense, I got closer to the death match and the stunts. And there's a whole I think there could be just a whole podcast dedicated to the ins and outs of like deathmatch and people that grew up watching Jackass, CKY, all that stuff. So I think a lot of that
POR, you know, because they're a popular group now coming.
Yes, sir. There's still people carrying on. So long story short, that's what happened. I started filming videos at wrestling, did stunts, started refereeing. Nobody would train me whenever I was a teenager. They all knew me because I shot videos around it. And so the first people that I got a hold with was Deadly Dale, Otto Bane, and Cody Daniels. Cody only eventually. LSD. There we go. Switch. Labeled Social Deviants. And so like they
were, Dale. I know him. He's a good dude.
Yeah, Deadly Dale. Yeah. That's my brother right there, man. We're all. So they knew me as like a kid, you know. So they knew I was.
How's he doing these days? I don't even know. I haven't talked to him.
Well, he really just he just spends time with his family, man. He just loves his family, and he it was funny because within a couple of years, he just like checked off all the bucket list and was just like
I know
all of it like that after forever, and then so he continued working and was always there for me, and then here recently, he's just spending time with his family, man, just holding it down. But so those are my boys that brought me in, and they're obviously pretty hardcore wild fellows. But then around the age of 18, Otto Bane finally started to train me a little bit. Deadly Dale trained me a few times, but he was like, well, I'll get you in and help get you to set up the ring and do this and that. So I filmed until I was 18, and then I started refereeing, announced for a while, and refereed for about 10 years, trained that whole time. So I trained to be a wrestler, and I believe I got all my training done. But the problem is they needed me as a referee and announcer around the local shows more. So that's what I focused on. And so then I finally started working some matches a couple years ago, and I'm still doing a little bit of all of it, man. So I'm a student of the game, there you go. That's Sleezy-E in a nutshell right there, brother.
That's good, man. You know, you gotta just, yeah, you know, and you know, that's those first step through the ropes. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna take my first bump. You know,
yeah.
All right.
Yeah. A lot of them. Whenever it was the first time, just bump, roll, ropes, and just wore me out, man. But that's just that's part of the game, and they didn't bring me in what people would say the hard way. I would like to say the right way, because I have respect for the business. They knew how much I loved and respected the business as a kid. So the guys that brought me in really took care of me, and they introduced me to my good brothers, my best friends in the world, Brad and Briar Skimahorn. They're the Memphis Tag Team Champions. Congratulations to my brothers on that.
Shout out to them.
Those guys have taken a break with older age, and they're enjoying their families, the guys that brought me in, but they linked me up with Brad and Briar, and they're my best friends, and they're still going up and down the road, and they're all taking care of the sleazeball for some weird ass reason, man.
You gotta make a trip down to the East Coast, you know, right?
Oh, yeah, eventually, those boys have, man. Those boys are wild. They've been all over, man. They are true blue.
Yeah,
work it to the ground.
That's good. That's good.
They're something else, man. They're something else.
Mm-hmm. So as we go back and talking about growing up, what was your first event? Like, what was your event that you attended? Like, what was it? A local show?
There's a local show. I grew up in a town called Newport, Arkansas. So the show that started up was WFAC, Wrestling for a Cause. So you would think maybe like every show was a benefit, but I think that was just
Did you also go to? Did you go to any pay-per-views or anything? Did you ever?
Very first show I went to Monday Night Raw at the Pyramid in Memphis, and so that was my very first show ever, and that was 5 or 6 years old. Don't remember shit about it. I just remember it happened, and it probably that probably what got me and said, "Yeah, this is it. This is I'm in it the long haul." But that was my local show there in Newport in the town, so it was every Friday. They ran every Friday, so for the whole 3, 4, 5 years that they ran, I was there every single Friday there, you know. And
good crowd, good size crowd.
Oh yeah. Usually it fell off in later years.
30 to 40 to 100.
The first name they brought in was Big Boss Man. So that I remember that just being so surreal that
right.
And that was the first name I saw. And like I knew Big Boss Man was there. I had my little VIP seat that was like $5 extra to be up close to the ring. And so he was in the main. He didn't come out before or nothing. And I was just like, oh, God, I'm going to get to see the Big Boss Man in person. This is crazy. And I'll always remember it whenever he was on like a 6-man or something. And it started early. And everybody's like, where is he at? Where is he at? And he came out to that Nelly song. It was Nelly. It's a cop. It has the cop sirens and stuff like that in it. I don't know, but he came out, and I would just remember thinking, "Well, this is just it's crazy. He's here in Newport, Arkansas, you know." But
it like a character like that who really, you know, you're like, wow, all right, he's the cool. You know, he's got a gimmick that's really great. Like,
and he's just a big, strong dude. But have you grown up in New Jersey? Have you always been there?
Actually, I was born in North Dakota.
Oh shit! All right,
I'm a little traveler.
That's all right, man. That's what's up.
My dad was into Vietnam, you know. He's still around, you know. So we got around. From Colorado to Rhode Island to New Jersey. Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, absolutely. So did you have like local shows growing up? Did that like, or was it a?
I'll tell you what, man. I got to the opportunity. All right, that the promotion NWF Wrestling was around. NWF Wrestling, and that was with Dr. D. David Schultz. Wow, like, yeah, hello. So
that's real deal right there.
So I got to see him, you know, at a local show. Well, and also Bruce Brody inside Cage. I was blessed as a kid. I got to see.
That's unreal, dude.
And it's still on. I'll send you the video. It's really crazy. The match is still out there. It's like, you know, Dominic DeNucci and, you know, all the Fantastics and my God. But it was a school night. I missed Abdullah the Butcher. I I left before he came out.
Well, at least you were like in the same building. I feel like even just that is quite the accomplishment.
But growing up, also, actually, there was a school in my town. It was called the Iron Mike Sharp Iron Mike Sharp, the professional wrestler, from Canada, ran the Iron Mike Sharp Wrestling School. And so Saturdays, there was wrestling for like $5. I'd go watch the young guys who are just getting into the business, and actually X-Pac as the 1, 2, 3 kid walked through the door. Yes, like
see, that's something that's like hard for my brain to process, because like I haven't saw a bunch of people like on their way up like since I've like, because I'm from Arkansas. There's not a lot of people that come through.
But
like
also that. ECW's Nova was a part of that. Like he was a local, and actually Malice, aka the Wall from WCW. Also was a local, and so these guys came in and out of the building, and then fast forward, Nova actually had a brother who actually ran a promotion in the mid '90s, and it was called Phoenix Championship Wrestling, and it's a promotion that took off all your names that you would see on the scene. From your Lance Storm to Eddie. I saw Eddie versus Nova. Come on, like
that's unreal.
I've seen,
and does that even register when you're seeing it? Like I bet it does. Like now it's so unreal.
Yeah. I mean, memories are, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, meeting local Balls Mahoney, Chris Candido, just guys who I just admire, I got to know. I worked at a dollar store, and this guy, I'd like to tell the story how I ran into Balls Mahoney, and I worked at a dollar store stocking shelves, and this guy comes walking in. I don't know. Somebody says, I'm stocking the shelf. Hey, he's a wrestler. He works for a company, ECW. I was still like new to the stuff, No way. So yeah, I got to get a piece of paper signed, and then we talked. And
oh man, see, that's what a blessing. How cool is that? Like it's so great. Everybody has their own like stories growing up with wrestling, and how we've all been closer or further away to certain things. Yeah. Hey man, that's badass.
But also, what was pretty wild was I went to see another show. I don't forget what the promotion was, but they had a high school gym show, and I'm sitting up in the bleachers with my dad and my friend, and guess what? Mick Foley as Cactus Jack, Doug Gilbert, hardcore match. My first hardcore experience with a trash can.
That was your first hardcore experience.
Like having them tumble down the staircase. Like originals. Like
Yeah, so you think like that's just a straight to the top? That's unreal. That's so cool. That's so cool.
It is to be, and then of course I remember actually, but also they did first, like, was it pay-per-view or they had like a WrestleMania pay-per-view going on at a local school. They would do the projector screen, and it was the Bundy and Hogan match. I remember watching. But then you know what? My dad surprised me the next year, WrestleMania 5. Went to WrestleMania.
Wow. How old was you at that time?
Boy, I was a young kid. But I was up in the nosebleeds at Trim Plaza Casino.
It don't matter. Yeah, it don't matter, man. You were there, buddy.
5 rows next to me was Gorilla Monsoon and Jesse the Body Ventura commentating the whole time. My God, hearing the thump of the ring from down below.
Yeah.
Wow. Like, so unreal. So unreal. You get your history, come on, man.
Oh, man. Look at that.
$50 back then. $50 I paid.
$50. That's cool as hell, man.
But, that's even though he lost, I had Marty Jannetty sign it at a local show down here.
Oh yeah, that's still as cool as it can get, man.
I know, because that was historical. That really was like the WrestleMania that really took off.
It all built up for that one, and then now it's what it is today.
I don't even know what it is today.
I don't either, man.
I don't even.
It is what it is.
It's a longer show nowadays than it was.
Yeah, it is. Everything's longer. Everything, you got to make more money. You got to have more ads. You got to sell out.
I know. Yeah, Vince McMahon. You know, but yeah, my cousin actually lives like 5 minutes from his, headquarters. I'm like, oh, son of a bitch. You know, I'm always up in the Connecticut area. Oh, there's the building. Let me go sign it, Vince. You know,
that's where it all goes down.
Yeah, man. But then I had another, and I'll tell you another experience. Me, man, I actually got to go on Sunday night. I was in Christmas time in New York City. I got to go to that restaurant when they had that restaurant. Sunday Night Heat was taping.
Oh, in New York or?
Yeah, Times Square.
Yeah, the Times Square restaurant. Yeah, that's dude. Yeah, because that was the coolest thing while it was going on, man. I thought it was. I think it was cool. They obviously ran out of money, but it was cool as hell while it lasted.
But my sister and I just decided we're gonna go out to the restaurant. Okay. And we walk around, look at the souvenirs, this and that, and we go into the restaurant. The lady at the counter goes, "Hey, we're going to be filming tonight. You want to be on TV?" What? No. Uh-oh. I'm going to be on TV for the first time ever. Like, am I, and so I got to stand behind Michael Cole and Taz the whole time. And me and Taz were cutting it up. We were cutting up because I guess they were in North Carolina, Ric Flair country or something. North Carolina, they were doing a show, and they cut to it. We're talking like, who's the best of the figure floor? Ric Flair. Me and him were cracking up because it was just funny. But the match that stood out because they went right to it. The Stone Cold versus Booker T in the grocery store.
That changed the whole game. That changed the whole game.
And then during that, I was like, oh man, here these guys are going at it. And, Chuck Colombo was also in the wrestling, in the match before that. I found the matches on. I got it. I'll send you that. It's pretty wild. Like I found the whole episode of that Heat. Like, with the big show as well. Mm-hmm. Like I didn't like Paul White,
Yeah.
But to see, that and be like, hey, Mom, I'm on TV tonight. Tune in. You better hit the record button on the VCR. Mm-hmm. Well, guess what? 10 years later, I had the VD. I got it remastered to digital. So I was
you got to take care of all that stuff, man. We got to hold on to those memories of it, man, because that's what we're made of, really. At the end of the day.
Absolutely. But yeah, then just local wrestling, man, came around and just the mid-90s and
Well, growing up, you had a lot of stuff, man. You got to experience and was cool. So from Arkansas, we had local wrestling, but the only thing we have, and I'm in Northeast Arkansas, so I'm from about 2 hours from Memphis, which is like the closest thing around here. Period. So Memphis wrestling has always been.
Memphis, the history, my gosh, the history, man.
So much history, and there's just layers to it. It's history. It's its own style. It's a place for people to make a name. It is really it's everything a wrestling territory should be in a way. So like Memphis wrestling was the only thing that that brought people in this area, and that's the only thing we saw on TV other than. WWF, WCW, we would have Memphis wrestling. It was either Randy Hales, the Power Pro Wrestling, like there's been like 5 different developmentals. I might be exaggerating, but there's always different things like that coming through Memphis.
Yeah.
So recently, with the championship wrestling from Memphis, David Marquez, his championship wrestling from Florida, Arizona, and stuff like that. And so they recently rebooted Memphis, and it's on syndicated television there in Memphis, YouTube. And so I referee there. So I still wrestle, but I referee, and I'll just go to the show, if I don't got nothing to do, you know what I mean? So like, but that's one of the things we've always had is Memphis wrestling. That's been our big thing. And I know in different areas of the world, there's just so much more that you could have experienced and a lot of stuff at your fingertips. But at Memphis, it's just like all of our promotions, the style is more of a Memphis style around here. And a lot of people don't think about it, but Memphis really was a precursor to a lot of hardcore and just different types of things like that people wouldn't relate to Memphis wrestling if they just see a TV studio opening match with a guy throwing the sickest punches in the world and just whooping some little dude's ass, which that was some of it. But Memphis wrestling was just that's where I've grown stylistically and psychology wise is Memphis. So that's all we got here in Arkansas.
Wow, man. But yeah, I've been to Mid-South, you name it. I've traveled. It's on my little journeys, 12-hour rides. Oh my God, Chicago. I've done it all already. It just doesn't stop. No,
the love for it and the drive is just it's unlike anything else. I still
let me ask you this: what promotions now? And I'm sure you like retweeting a lot of my stuff. That you've seen a lot of stuff that I retweet, like New South and Game Changer Wrestling and freelance and just other promotion. There's so many promotions that really catch your eye.
Yeah. So I've been on GCW for a while. Like once I found them a couple years ago, I was like, okay, so like this is
out of the world.
Bit of it all. Like growing up with Deathmatch, IWA Mid-South was just whatever I can find of that with Deathmatch was like lifeblood, like that was the stuff. But like GCW came out and really just repackaged as a whole
product. I know
product of its own, and it's a smorgasbord, but it is a very specific smorgasbord. And so like I love the GCW
because they mix it up, because they mix the talent, and it's talent you want to see. New faces, old faces. Come on, you're gonna see people who made a name for themselves. Yeah,
and they make their workers, like they make them. Like there's people. I remember the first time I ever saw Tony Deppen. I can't remember what show it was. I think it was a show. I can't remember the name of it, but so I remember the first time he came out, and there's nothing bad about him or nothing, but like he's some people click with you and some people don't, and well, I think it's Tony Deppen. He makes himself, to tell you the truth, but he's just one of the people. Like there's just so many people within GCW, like they make themselves. Like the GCW makes them, and that it's like they have an agreement that they're both.
And not only that, he's a father of two.
Congratulations, buddy.
And a beer owner as well, my man.
So he's just living the best life,
I cannot wait till that opens. I'm going to definitely go to the brewery, have a nice cold,
doubt.
In Pennsylvania there when he opens it. Oh gosh,
but yeah, GCW is great, man. There's a lot of great Paradigm Pros doing their own thing, and it's like there's just so many different promotions just running and kind of doing their own style, but everybody it's still like an open ball game. So like here we have the Championship Wrestling from Memphis, and so there's the whole United Wrestling Network. So there's that, and like in Texas, I think there's like the SWE Fury, and that's a own little territory. And
Loca.
Yep. And so there's just so much different.
Wait till man, I wish I was going to that show for GCW. Oh my God.
No, man, I know. I hope to get to one of them one of these days, and they're just I bet it's an unreal experience because there's not a lot of death match obviously around this area. One good story I have that I can use that is basically my only story is somehow, some way, all the stars aligned in the world, in the universe, and everything I worked for all paid off in getting the opportunity to referee Pro Wrestling Trainwreck's Southern Sickness, the first one there in Memphis. And so Trainwreck is another company that's they went.
They are.
Went,
shout out to JC. Shout out to JC.
Yeah, yes, right. Hey, I'll give him a shout out too because
he's a good dude. He's a good
helped
dude.
me out a whole lot. Eric Wayne was like my connection because he's from Memphis, so he kind of got me in. But then JCW or JC was always so nice to me and like always, took care of me and everybody was cool. And so I did there in Memphis.
Man, and then when down. Just it's like a curse sometimes in wrestling. When I saw a post, fire marshal came and closed the damn. I'm like, come on, man.
It was a slow build for Trainwreck, but now, like, I know, man, they got their groove and they got exactly what they're doing, and it's a very specific deathmatch product, and I think that's what they were building up to. And so I refereed a couple of shows there at the High Tone, and as a referee, it's nice to have a second referee, but sometimes when it's just you and you get to go out there, you get to work with so many different people. You get to really put some work in and learn some stuff. And so I was blessed to be able to ref a few of those Trainwreck shows by myself. And so I did those, and then Southern Sickness was coming out, and I said, there is a death match tournament happening in Memphis, Tennessee. I have to be a part of it, And I told him, I said, listen, man, if there's any way, like even if I can't ref it, like I want to be there, help out, work, do whatever I can. And so luckily, like they brought me on as a referee, and it was me and referee John Gray. And
good old John Gray is great.
Yeah, he's a GCW. Like I remember watching him whenever I first started watching GCW, and like there's other referees.
Or IWA, IWA.
That's probably where I saw him first. Was IWA, and then
I saw him first.
He stuck out, and I was like, this dude's a deathmatch referee. Like it is, like he. Like I know he does. I know he does more than that, but he just like stuck with me. Like this is a guy that because I just saw him in so much deathmatch stuff, and then so to work alongside with him, man, he helped me out and was so cool. But it was that was all my deathmatch love and like work towards it paid off that weekend, and it's funny because it was exactly a week before I got married, and so it was like. Oh God, I gotta be so careful, but I want to be so dangerous, But it was just it was so unreal being there with the crew that was there, and being around all those dudes like Matt Tremont was there, Marcus Crane, and just I wish I could just name every person that was in it because for me it was unreal to work with all these people, and so there's my big death match thing right there, and that was just the coolest thing I've ever done, I haven't worked for Trainwreck since. Maybe one of these days, you never know. But that was my I could even say bucket list. Like after that, I said, I just wanted to be able to go to a deathmatch tournament. Arkansas, it's hard to do that. I got to participate and be there with all these guys and just
You should. Man, I don't know what you were doing. I don't know what you're doing. You should have came to the TOS, man. You should have jumped in the.
I know, brother. I know.
It was a great. Well, maybe next year. Plan your. Come hang out with me, man.
I would love to. Hey, well, you know what? We'll get it in the works, my man. We'll get it in the works.
Because they'll be back in Atlantic City for that again. Trust me, or somewhere down the line. They'll be around. They get it. That's a tradition to come back to the shore,
But it's so cool. You've experienced so much death match and so much of those guys like up close. And for me, like it was one weekend. Like I've experienced hardcore matches around here, and I've participated in a death match or two around this area with certain guys and stuff. But like this was a death match tournament with these professional death match wrestlers that these are the guys, But you've been there. Alongside these dudes and
I've been to the combat zone to where it started, but I wish I was there for the early stuff, but I wasn't, That was all. I got to be around the period of when it was just peaking, man. It was just getting good, Seeing all the good wrestlers getting, noticed. on TV and just independent, just making a name for themselves, like the Leo Rush, like my God.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to him, man.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to him.
Yeah. Well, it's cool because like we were talking earlier how you saw guys through the training facility that was literally just training, starting up 1, 2, 3 Kid, Nova, those dudes like coming up like that.
Meeting my icon.
Bring it up.
I know, right? Bringing up the
Nick, man, that's one of the first people I remember really seeing in a death match.
I just wish I was there for the real stuff. I wish I was there, but I got to I got to be friends with him. Just wrestling, just talking on Facebook and just cutting his crap, and really nice dude, really nice, just person that's done a lot. My God.
Yeah, well, he's I think he's completely in a league of his own.
He's really. I'll tell you what, very, very good quality production for filmmaker. He is phenomenal.
Oh yeah, he's a true blue filmmaker.
Mr. Mox, shout out to him.
Yeah, all of his work that I've saw, like as
I know,
thick as his accomplishments are within deathmatch, I think his filmmaking is his true calling. Because I mean, dude's work is just straight up. It's like there's a natural thing about it, because when
the trade came out, like my gosh,
dude, that shut me down. That shut me down. I found that on Prime, and I said, "Get out of here! Get out of here!" And then, So that was a feature film. It was a documentary, but it was a feature film, and to see the work that was put into that, I said, I just want everybody to see this so they can understand, like just a piece. Just a piece.
Yep. Like him going off the roof. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to see the reenactment of, the reconstruct of it. Like the Joey Janela versus Zandig. Come on, like my God, I've seen that in my backyard almost. Shit, like 20 minutes away.
Yeah, and that's crazy.
I know. Moments like that, you're like, wow. You get to really think back. You look at that's like how it all came about.
Absolutely. That was a that's there's seeds planted and stuff like that, and it just grows.
Yeah, and to be guys to do that, and and you look, these other guys want to try to do it, and hey, do it all now.
Going back to seeing folks come up, like there's not a lot of people that I saw come through here that's completely made it on the indies or really just blew up or this and that. Like there's guys that's trucked it and did this and that, but I remember in years ago. So AJ Gray, he's one of the only people that I saw, and it's still today surreal to see him because I saw him.
He is
in his first year.
He's a man. He's a warrior. He's a true.
And I would never dream whenever I first saw him like come in, and he was just a year or two in.
Nicest person in the business too.
Oh yeah, he was always.
Come on,
cool as a fan, man. But I never thought this dude's gonna go on and just kill the deathmatch scene and take stuff over. Just
to prove himself. Who is he? Who is he? You got to prove yourself.
Yeah. So he came out and like took over the game, and it's just it's so cool to see stuff like that. So one of my little not a conspiracy theory, but just a thought that I have in my mind is, so in Arkansas, most of these guys they'll work Tennessee, Mississippi. Alabama, maybe Mid-South, Missouri. Missouri's right above us. And so I remember Deadly Dale, Otto Bain, Cody. They started working shows in Illinois, so it was Sam's show there, SNPW, Strictly Insane, and so they started going up there, and I was like, "Oh, what?" I was like, "You dudes are going all the way up to Illinois." Now that makes me sound dumb as hell, but for me, that's up north. Like I was like, oh man, that's a north. And I obviously went up to Illinois, and all this got a lot in common.
Then you had that $10 wrestling.
Yeah, man.
Oh my God,
and that's some unreal stuff in its own,
That
so they started going.
Guy, yeah.
They started going to Illinois, and I think that just unlocked something because a lot of these guys didn't go there. So like that, when they did that at Sam's show, that unlocked their way to go up there and for people to come down here. So like, I think AJ found his way over here through Tennessee, but like Mikey, just Mikey now, formerly Mikey McFinnigan, like him and Zach came down, like certain guys, the Hooligans. So like certain guys, they all made their way through here. So I would like to credit them with such a faucet opening for guys where we're at to be able to work with the Midwest independents, which Brad and Breyer got their in with that, and those boys have been working ever since, man. But yeah, so there you go. That's my big thought right there.
That's cool. That's cool. Man, but now you see wrestling. Now you see wrestling, and you see the different styles of wrestling there is out there, and the guys are on TV, right? Yeah, a couple dark matches, or you see guys on this dark matches right now, and you're like, you know what? I've seen these guys. I've seen these. I know who they are.
Yeah, yeah.
Like a Donnie Janela or Dan Barry, who's been actually like just recently. There's so many guys just like coming through, and just it's like wow, like people don't know who these guys are, but they came. You just think about like they came from promotions that
they have a name and like that. The guy, there's just it's so cool because there's an outlet for those guys that have trucked it for so many years, and it was. Sometimes when you truck it, all you're doing is trucking it. And, like you're doing it because you love it and you're doing this, but like there wasn't so many things to get your name out there. And now there's so many promotions. And now with like IWTV and the High Spot, just with streaming period changes the game with people getting their name out there. And it's just, it's super cool to see.
It is. And it's just like, you're like, hey, holy shit, you know what? I used to work with this guy. You're like,
yeah.
And I'm sure you've seen that. You know what I mean? I'm sure you.
Absolutely.
That's.
So I worked a show with Kung Fu Janela. He was Donnie.
Yeah.
Prime time. So it was Pro Wrestling Ego there, and I remember Adam Priest was there also. So like those were a couple of guys that one night. Only for me was there. I was able to ride with Brad and Breyer to ref, and so like these are guys that I ref their matches a handful of years ago, and now they're up there, and it's just that's always cool because we all love it and we like those things that make it special.
Because we help support them, we're supporting them.
Everybody's important. I'm a big supporter of every job at the show. Even outside,
every female as well. Come on, there
you go.
Yeah,
we're all human beings. We're all made the same. We're all made the same.
We all split it up in the gay community. Yes, the LGBT community.
Yeah, everybody's welcome. Everybody should be welcome in the world. We're all human beings, man. There's not a single difference between any of us that could actually make a difference because we're all unique in our own way.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So, but I'm right there with you, brother. And it's
you got the real strong pride of, Effie, the one and only. Oh my God, that guy.
Absolutely. Well, Effie is just an enigma and just so creative, so insane. The first time I saw Effie was on is an IWA Deep South Softcore Cup. Him and then I think he was working like. I don't know if he's working White Mike or not. Yeah. White Mike and some kind of sleaze guy. I don't know. So I remember seeing Effie for the first time on that and thinking, and this was like years before he really blew up and became on. But I the first time I saw him, it was just like.
He's like he was the Adrian Adonis of professional wrestling.
Yeah, and it was just like nothing I've ever seen, and just took your full attention, but would whoop some ass, get his ass whooped, and just still be so cool and 10 steps ahead of you. So like Effie's just
He's out.
It's crazy to even see where he is now. You know,
he's everywhere. He's everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Doing his Twitch TV stuff. Oh, it's great.
Yeah, absolutely, man. There's so many outlets for people to make who they are, make their characters in a way, like a YouTube channel. I take advantage of my YouTube channel, Sleezy-E Wrestling on YouTube, if you will. SLEEZ to the Y to the E Wrestling on YouTube. So it's so cool because you can create who you are through your own vignettes and different things like that, and like with
and another guy, Ziggy Dice. Ziggy Dice.
Oh yeah. And guys has done that and put steroids in it and just really truly.
He makes a product that's unbelievable.
He is his own product, you know, and he knows exactly, like guys like they know exactly what they're doing and they're just giving it exactly to you, you know.
From games to movies, come on, like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, and so everybody's kind of like they have an opportunity to make themselves in their own way, to like create their character. Because like think about if you didn't have those outlets and stuff like that. So you're creating your character and who you are, or whatever you stand for at each one of these shows that you're doing, piece by piece within working your match, and that's pretty hard to do stuff set in stone and make people think certain stuff. So everybody has all these outlets, and it's just it's a big ass conglomerate thing. And I think it's a great time for people to do exactly what they want in wrestling. But like I was saying, man, every job in wrestling matters. Like I love the guy at the door, the person doing the concessions. You know, so because I've done pretty much every job there is to do in wrestling, and everybody counts. If you didn't have one person, that show wouldn't work, that show wouldn't last, and that would be it, man. So we all love it, and we're all adding to the thing that we love.
Oh, I just got a notice here from Game Changer for the 4th of July. Oh, that's well, I guess the match is now and confirmed for the Game Changer Backyard Wrestling show for July 4th. I guess we have Nasty Leroy versus the world famous CB. Wow.
Oh, man. Dude, I love the backyard wrestling events. 4th of July is the best time to do that, and man, that'll be a hell of a match. I'll be watching it. I tell you what, I'll be watching it.
I'll be let's just say I'll be in front. I'll be there waving.
Well, just there you go. There you go. We'll just I'll see you there, bud. I'll see you there.
Yeah.
Television.
Well, I'll be there in person. Yeah, that's great. Celebrating and have a good time with friends watching wrestling. That's it.
I think that's what it's all about. That's all. That's why we're all here, man.
You can't, everybody can't be invited. It's a shame, but hey.
Hey, man, that's not the first invite that's been held out on me, man. There's I
know. I'm just saying, it's a lottery,
Yeah, no doubt. But anybody can buy it on the television, man, and that's what it's all about, brother.
My gosh. Wow. These two are going to go to war. Oh, gosh. Actually, this Leroy was on the very first Backyard show.
Yep.
If you remember, I don't know if you watched that, but
I did. I've slept since then, so I don't got it all cataloged, but I've watched since the first one, man. Those Backyard shows. Who would have ever thought that you could package that, put it out there, and it just be legitimate?
Guys diving off of roofs and young Jordan Oliver jumping off a roof. There's a wrestler that's really made a name for himself, Jordan Oliver. I'm sure you've seen that.
Oh yeah, well he's starting so young, and just before his body's developed fully, he's a full pro wrestler, and he knows everything. So he's like grown as a human being and like already established, and to be in a seat like that, unreal, man, unreal, super cool.
Wow, man. Actually, the CB. Wait a minute. Oh. CB. Wait a minute. Cheeseburger?
Is that? I just assumed it was
that. Yes. From Ring of Honor, he had the
cheeseburger. Cheeseburger is a complete.
He was a
individual himself.
But no, let not knock it, because you know what? Very good product that he actually runs the Ring of Honor school So big shout out to him, big time. He's a guy that's really held his, own for a long time in the business. Actually, I can't believe it. I missed the night that he was actually wrestling Matt Tremont at a show in H2 in Williamstown, New Jersey. I missed that night. I should have gone. Something told me to go.
Yeah.
To see Cheeseburger, but I'll be able to now talk to him. Yeah,
you'll see him. You'll see him. Just not not against old Tremont.
No. Well, let's talk. Like, what are you into now? What do you watch on TV? What's your go-to shows? Do you watch AEW Dark? Do you watch any kind of TV? Do you watch DVD or not, digital or whatever the hell?
Yeah. No, I'm a tape man. I'm still a tape man. I'm still a DVD man. Still got a VCR. So I'm still rocking stuff like that. I'm a cheapskate, so I catch up on a lot of stuff through highlights on YouTube. I've watched some AEW Dark on YouTube. I enjoy that.
That's great. We're missing it right now. We'll have to replay it later.
Yeah. So that I know. I caught up on Elevation when I was cleaning the house earlier. So I don't got cable. I'll catch up on Dynamite if I can. Can't say I watch a ton of WWE stuff. I think once they get on the road, it'll pick up. I hope. I watch every Saturday at high noon CW 30 Championship Wrestling from Memphis. Got to check that out because it's an hour and it's hard and fast, buddy. And so I definitely watched that. Even if I wasn't involved, I would be watching that. I got IWTV, so basically
any kind of wrestling.
I'm just picking through any deathmatch tournament show that I can find on there, and then I just turn it on and let it play. I watched the Crimson Cup. That was the latest thing that I watched. I watched most of Double Death, IWA's Double Death, and then most recent one. But
they had heavy metal wrestling. They had something like heavy metal. I checked that out. That's pretty cool.
Heavy metal. Cool. Yeah. That's a sick ass promotion that has a hardcore style, but it's not the only thing that they do.
No.
But yeah, so that's basically all I actually consume. Basically.
Movie wise or TV wise, what's your go-to shows or this and that? I don't even know. I'm a Seinfeld kind of guy. I'm a
okay. Yeah, so are you just mainly comedy or?
I'm a horror guy. Come on,
horror guy.
Why would I have a tombstone on my wrestling podcast?
I know it all blends together, man. I grew up on a lot of horror, and I've drifted away from it, not for any specific reason. It's just the fact that no current horror tickles my fancy because it just doesn't. I grew up on a lot of horror stuff. Little tidbit, and maybe if anybody in the world hears this, somebody else will see it other than me. My favorite movie in the world is Shock Treatment. So it's not a prequel and it's not a sequel. It's an equal of Rocky Horror Picture Show. So it's basically everybody with Frankenfurter. So the Brad
I'll have to look that one out.
Yeah, hey, it's on YouTube. It's on YouTube. Shock Treatment, and it's I just stumbled upon it. It was like an extra disc in a Rocky Horror Picture Show DVD I had, and I watched it. And the music's so good, and the story's just cool, and it all takes place in a TV studio. So in like the late 70s, they're touching on the fact that TV is warping our minds and causing us to think certain ways, and just the fact
I've done one of those reenactments. I've gone to one of those Rocky Horror shows at the local theater.
Hey, crazy. I went to my first one a few years ago too, and it was just watching the movie and how everybody acts along and stuff.
Yeah,
how cool is that? It blew my mind. Like I heard,
for like $20, $10, you just go to the theater and just watch the movie over. And
time of your life, and everybody joins
tossing rice. And,
yeah. And it's just it's too cool. It was one of my favorite experiences ever. I guess you can call it live entertainment in a way because everybody's involved. But like that was one of my favorite things I've ever done. But even though I'm the biggest myself.
How about growing up watching like Friday the 13th and
that was it. I mean, that was
Texas Chainsaw and
grew up on that, man. Friday the 13th was my number one. Michael Myers, not too far behind that. Halloween. Texas Chainsaw was always cool.
I actually got to meet Gunnar Harrison at a convention before he died. Like,
man! So did you get a picture with him, or did you just get to?
I got the autograph. I wish I had his picture.
Oh man, you got.
But I did get Kane Hodder. Come on, you can't.
Yeah. So where was this at? Was this
like a horror con, like one of those horror cons? And then what made me so pissed off, dude? It was like I went with my friend and I waited too long in the line. Roddy Piper for They Live was going. I know I would have loved to meet Piper. I would have loved the hour-long line. You know how long lines usually are. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, I think he's the one. Just one of the one bucket list guys that I just would have just loved to meet and but
pick his brain.
Yeah. So but no, I grew up on all the classic horror stuff and watched a lot.
I mean, hell, I had the guy standing behind me. Hell, it was the voice of Chucky. I wish I snapped. I'm like, oh shit, he's right behind me. Like, holy shit. And my God, I got to meet who else did I meet? I met the cop from Nightmare on Elm Street. That guy, the cop.
Oh yeah.
I also met the gay designer from Beetlejuice.
Dude, I love Beetlejuice. It's one of my favorite movies.
But one of my favorite moments was actually meeting Linda Harrison from Planet of the Apes. My God, I got to see, growing
that's
up.
One of those hard to find ones right there.
Yeah.
You got to take advantage of you see some people come through and that they're on the circuit. Certain people, you got to jump all over it.
I know, but nowadays it's like, wow, who do you want to see next?
Hey, you can see anybody you want, really. Nowadays, it's such a popular thing that.
It's like a wrestling con. It's like a wrestling con. Come on. I've met a lot through all the years too. God, there's so many guys. I mean, you probably see. You could go through my website and you could see all the pictures. The wrestlers are all listed.
I saw a lot of them, man. I've saw a lot of them.
I've met Bruno. I've met Dominic DeNucci. I've met Harley Race. Come on, Dusty Rhodes. I've met Jim Cornette. I gotta find that picture, but I'm never gonna post it. I don't think.
No, James.
Yeah. Mick Foley, my.
So currently I live in Searcy, Arkansas, so it's not too far from Newport. And Searcy, I actually met Mick Foley himself. I think he was on one of his book tours around 2003 and was at the Armory or whatever. So, around the time that the WCW, WF, WWF, all the merger and all that good shit. There was all those guys out there, and they were, there's a decent amount of people coming through this area, which usually So Buff was coming through, and I remember Kevin Nash was around, but then Mick Foley was here, and just the fact that he was here was just unbelievable. And the funny thing is, so I didn't have the meet and greet pass, just had the regular ticket to get in. They were doing the meet and greet before the show on the little thing. And my aunt used to take me to all these wrestling shows. I didn't have
I'll tell you what. When I went to this one wrestling convention, guess what? I walked up and they had the sign up on the wall, or those big stands, tripod stands, and it said, "Live mic, Q&A with Bill Apter." Okay. Let me see what this.
All right, yeah.
Let me see what this is about. It was Mick Foley, and I went up there to the microphone, And I asked, Bill was asking questions to the crowd, and I had to think of something. Mick Foley, what was it like, falling off the cell? He was scared versus Undertaker. I just whipped that, dude. That was like, yes.
Well, that's the thing. I think Mick is one of those people that I think he's had more of a influence on flipping most of us to the hardcore style. So he meant a lot to me growing up, and so we get to the show, and so I get my aunt to go talk to the guy up at the door, guarding the door, and everybody was already in. The line was made, and she was like, "Is there anything that I could, can I, my nephew's over here? Can he pay for the thing, the $20 meet and greet, and just let him go through?" He just didn't get it beforehand. He was, yeah, sure. So he let me through, had the $20 in my pocket. He didn't ask for it. So I got in that line, man, and just went through, and the line was getting shorter and shorter and shorter. And I got up close, and it was just me, Mick Foley, and like a security guard right there. And I was like, oh, God, this is just unreal. Then I remember he made the joke. He said, "What's your name?" "Eli." "Oh, like Eli Manning." And I was like, I don't like sports. Mick Foley, I don't I get your reference. Like, all right. So it was like that was my coolest meet and greet technically experience.
And funny you think as after I go home, me and my dad are heading home, go over to the rest stop, and there's Mick Foley eating a hamburger at McDonald's. Come on.
That sounds about right. I've heard it, old cheap bastard.
Yes, sir. But
hell yeah. But
memories can last forever, man.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Hope that's
it's like me, Jake the Snake Roberts. I was a little kid, and they had a sneaker store, right? Like one of those sneakers. You buy your sneakers and Reeboks, and you had your cool shoes, And I wanted to buy some shoes. You see this little sign on a window, meet and greet. Okay, here we go. It's Jake the Snake Roberts, right? I had the figure in my hand as a little kid. You just have to show off you're a true fan of wrestling. And my God, after that, and then see him at local show, and then after this, way before the pandemic hit, summertime hits. There's an ad playing on the radio. Jake the Snake Roberts live comedy tour coming to Sayreville, stadium or venue hall.
Yeah.
So, I jumped on my ice like, you know what? I'm jumping on this right now on the radio. You're caller number 9. No, you just won 2 tickets to see Jake the Snake Roberts comedy.
Get out of here.
Front row with my dad. We just enjoyed the whole. Oh my God, the stories were phenomenal.
Yeah. Just how could it not be, man? How could it not? Just watching Jake, number one, take all of his performance away and everything that he's done. Just watching in like an interview setting, just speaking is completely captivating. To have him, he stopped by Little Rock, so that's I'm not too far from Little Rock. That's our capital. And so he was in Little Rock one night, and man, I wanted to go so bad. It's probably around that same tour that you're talking about.
Yeah, the comedy tour. Yeah,
I wanted to go so bad, but it's like
the Mick Foley tour. I want to so bad go because they're always around,
But yeah, man, that's too cool to get to experience hhim speaking, telling stories,
telling you stories about Mr. Fuji. Doing pranks on a plane as they're traveling, and he would actually put your shoes. Mr. Fuji would put people's shoes. He would actually walk to the bathroom.
He's a dude. Dirty man.
Dirty man, just like the Snake was, And,
oh, no doubt. We've all got dirty in our day. I tell you what.
Yeah, he did. Sure did with Hacksaw Jim.
Yeah, you gotta love old Hacksaw. Gotta love old Hacksaw.
Yeah, man. But nowadays it's like, wow. But you know what, man? I say it's 9:00. My time to roll out of here.
Hey, man, you do your thing before you roll out. Let me tell you how much I appreciate you having me on, brother.
Oh, let's see what we got. Do I got any plugs here? Yeah, here. I think.
Yeah. You got some plugs.
Plug. Oh, not that plug. What is that? Deathmatch Russell podcast. I don't know what that is. I'll let that roll. But I got this one. Bam.
There you go, man. Thank you so much, brother, for putting that up there. I really appreciate it. But dude, I appreciate you having me on, sir. It's been a great time. You're a great interviewer. You got a sick show, great catalog of guests before me. I'm just a part of the machine that you have, helping out the business, and I just want to send my gratitude your way. One of these days, hope to meet you in person, brother.
No, very soon. Very soon. You never know.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
But thank you for coming on, and maybe I'll pass you along to some other podcast people just because of fun. I got some friends still looking for.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
BS.
Pass me on. And the only plugs I got, where you can see the Sleaze Ball this week, Thursday.
Yeah, what do you got going on this week? Let me ask you this. Sleezy-E, what do you got going on this week? There you go.
Oh, why, thank you, my brother. I appreciate that beautiful setup. Thursday, I will be in Anna, Illinois at Anna Fight Underground talking about a up-and-coming promotion dude making waves and having their own style. I'll be there with my boys Brad and Briar Skimmerhorn. I don't know what I'm doing. Might be reffing. I might be in the crowd. You never know. I'll be setting up that ring, promise you that, and I'll be there to have a good time at Madman Pondo's birthday bash. It's all going down there.
The madman himself.
Yeah, the one and only. And it's just a blessing to be there.
One of the guys that really paved the way for wrestling.
Yeah, one of the guys that I remember seeing him through the backyard stuff. He was one of the first deathmatch guys that I realized, oh, that was a deathmatch guy. Let me find more of him.
I got to find through him. I had a show and God, where was it? West Virginia for Vicious Outcast Wrestling. God,
cool.
Combat Zone and just everywhere else. Game Changer and
Madman Pondo. Nobody can stop him. Nobody can stop him.
There's one question I asked him on a podcast. Actually, and I gotta look for that video. There's a video of him wrestling in Japan in a house match.
Yeah. I remember that. I remember
because he was throwing a fish and it was just funny.
I remember I think I saw some part of that before.
FMW match. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to go back and look and search YouTube if I can find it again. Moment,
Yeah, but the Madman, everybody watch Madman Pondo matches this week. It's his birthday bash there in Anna, Illinois.
And he's the Hall of Famer of the Game Changer as well. You got
that right. And nobody can doubt his history. If you're around, come on out. Anna Fight Underground Thursday. Then Saturday, Hernando, Mississippi will be there with Hornswoggle himself. Commerce Street Showdown, 2 p.m. Championship Wrestling from Memphis. It's all going down. It's a free show. So I'll be at Anna Fight Thursday.
Just bring a ladder.
Huh?
Bring a ladder for Horn.
WLC. I remember watching WLC and just thinking that is the funniest, coolest, hardcore comical thing I've ever saw in my life. But Hornswoggle will be there Saturday. Hernando, Mississippi. That's where the sleep is going to be.
I'll tell you what. I'll bring it up. Remember, there was actually the time that he got tossed by Zandig himself. Yes.
Hornswoggle?
Yes, at a Game
Changer. Tossed by Zandig?
At the very first tournament. Yes.
Oh, my God.
That's when Razor Ramon. That's when Razor Ramon was. He got. Yeah. He was there. I remember like a light tube. Yep. Oh
man,
I'll go back and watch that moment.
I'm gonna have to go back and check that out. Thanks for letting me know about that. But that's where I am this week. I've been looking forward to this show, man. Since you hit me up, I've had a great time with you. Mad respect for your love and work that you put into the business. We're all doing the same thing. We're all doing the work. So thank you, sir.
I want to say thank you for doing what you do for the business and just performing and putting the blood on the mat.
Thank you. Hopefully I'll have another opportunity to put the blood on the mat before long. I am no full-time deathmatch wrestler. I love the deathmatch art, and if I have an opportunity to bleed a little bit, I promise you I'll take it. But this is the business we all love. We're going to keep on doing our thing. Hopefully, I'll be able to be on again later on in the future.
Anytime.
You let me know. You let me know, sir, and we'll meet on down the road, just how those things happen, man. I've had a great time with you, brother.
And you know what? Sleaze, what do I got going on this weekend? What's going on in my world?
Sleazy, right? What the hell's wrong with you, brother?
What's going on?
Dave, what do you got going on this week? Is there anything else going on? Because this is just Tuesday. I know you got a lot more lined up. Please let us know.
I was supposed to have a guest, and she had to actually cancel on me because she wasn't doing. She had some thick obligations to take care of. But I'm actually stay tuned this Thursday night at 8 p.m. I'm going to have PWI Pro Wrestling Illustrated writer, editor, and contributor and host of Pickle Talk, Andre Hangest, will be on the podcast.
Awesome. Hey, I bet you that's going to be a killer show there. I'll be watching.
Absolutely. It'll be on all platforms. And
that's Thursday, huh?
Thursday night.
Thursday.
And then what else we got? Nothing.
What else you got, brother? Hey, that's all you need. That's all you need.
It, until I got to go until wrestling comes back around again, till actually July 3rd, 4th.
Hey, man, that ain't too far away, and I'll be looking out for you, buddy. I'll be peeping you out on the TV. I'll tell my wife, hey, that's my brother right there on the television.
That's my friend, yeah.
Yep.
See, that's what business is all about, making good friends.
That's it. That's the only way to do anything. You make a friend or you kiss an ass. And if you don't want to be my friend, I'm not going to kiss your ass. But
I'm not going on
the wrestling world's going to continue without any of us. We don't owe a damn thing to it, and we're lucky to be a part of it. And I'm lucky to be on this very special episode of the Deathmatch Wrestle podcast.
Oh, wait a minute. Actually, it's the Tuesday night exclusive episode.
That
was right.
That's what the E stands for in Sleezy-E tonight, baby. Exclusive.
Yeah. So, thank you for coming on, and have a great night.
Rock and roll. You too, sir. Thank you very much.
All right. Let me end this podcast now if I can figure out how to do this because I haven't done it in a while. Thank you.
You got it, man. You'll catch that hook, Bubba.
Lights, camera, action. Here we go. Here's the outro.
You can find more Deathmatch Russell podcasts on the following social media: deathmatchrussell.com. Follow on Twitter at DavidNJ32 and on Facebook. Facebook.com/DJDaveNJ32. Find me on Podcast City Network at podcastcity.net. Facebook.com/Podcast City Network. Hit the like button and share. And on Twitter at Podcast City Net. You can hear Deathmatch Russell podcast on Stitcher Radio and on iTunes.
Hey, wrestling fans, check out bootandheel.com for all your independent wrestlers, apparel, and more. Also, check out Deathmatch Russell podcast as well. www.bootandheel.com.